No, you have to be right in front. Take the coaches away. On the roof. Thank you. All right, there you are. You are in the wrong place. You are. Yeah. This bit goes back to like this. The front five. The front five, yeah. Well, we've got lots of bags. You're in number 8. If you leave it to Volga, get off straight away, and you have 5 minutes to move up the platform. That'll be easier with your bag than trying to put it through the train. Get off straight away, and go back to the platform.
Of the house. Otherwise, all the rest, all the other materials are all coming from the mainland Portugal. So normally houses are not very cheap. So here we are back to St. Martin Church. The main cemetery, you can see it now, looking to your left. It's St. Martin Cemetery. Has been the largest one. Of course, there are many others, but. And more recently, just very recently, they've built the crematorium, the cemetery. There are still lots of mausoleums, old mausoleums. Nowadays, I don't think nobody builds a mausoleum, nobody wants that, and even though there's no space for it. So there are more and more people asking for cremation, but those old mausoleums were from old families, and they're still there. So this is the motorway. We go now straight ahead to southwest. If you went on the other side to the southeast, we would reach the airport after 20 kilometers. The Madeira has an international airport located at 20 kilometers east from Funchal. So again, you're looking St. Martin Church, and I'm calling attention for the location of the church. It is located on a sort of a round hill. It's like Big Barcelos. It's like that. It's something sort of round hill. There's another. There are some more down below where those houses are. That's also rather round. And these are examples of chimneys of old craters, because Madeira is of volcanic origin. And the last eruptions, visible volcano activity, took place at 1,700 years ago. So there are no visible, we don't have any kind of visible volcanic activity. There's nothing visible. The island is considered to be the oldest island here on this area of the Atlantic Ocean. We also compare with the Portuguese archipelago of Azores. The Azores are very far from here. It's about 1,000 kilometers north, and there are 9 islands. They're all inhabited, and they all have visible volcanic activity. They are dream islands, very different from Madeira. Madeira is a dream island as well, but very different really. And so they have visible volcanic activity, Madeira doesn't have. But if you go to the Canarias, that's the same. They have visible volcanic activity, like in Lanzarote, for instance. And if you went to the Cape Verde, the former Portuguese archipelago of Cabo Verde, now Independence, they also have volcanic activity. Last year there was a volcano that became an eruption and destroyed some little villages around. So all these 4 archipelagos that I'm mentioning and I'm comparing, this is important because they form a community. They form a community. They form a place called, not a community, sorry. They form a place called Macaronesia. Macaronesia. If you read this name, Macaronesia, that means the 4 archipelagos of the Atlantic. So they are all of volcanic origin. The only one who doesn't have visible volcanic activity is Madeira. Okay, now, so we left the city, now we're entering the countryside, and you will notice from now lots of bananas on both sides of the road. This is one of the main crops of the island that are exported. The fruit is exported only to Portugal mainland. Only to Portugal. These are the rules, the European major rules. So if you look to the terraces, it's very interesting to see that the agriculture is made all on terraces, on steps. And this is all very, they have very tiny agricultures, they don't have large plots. And if you see, there is, it's more or less harmonious, the landscape. This variety of bananas are called dwarf bananas. The origin of this plant is China. They were introduced by the end of the 18th century. We have other varieties of bananas, but the commonest one is this one, dwarf banana or musanana, musa acuminata. I'm forgetting names of you. Let's drive slower because you can understand. If you look to the plant, you will notice there is a plant and the bunch on the top appears on the top of the plant.
Yeah.
So when the farmers look at the bunch, you see that the fruit is fat and slightly turning yellow one or other. That will be the moment to harvest the bunch. So the bunch is harvested green, and then it's necessary to cut off the mother plant. It's over because this is not a tree. This is an herb, a giant herb. So each herb develops one bunch, and it's over. And what happened then? Next there is a little one by the child. Look, there is always a little one by the foot of the mother plant. Sometimes more than one, but they just leave one child. That child will grow, will take the flower and then the fruit. To reach the fruit, the formation of fruit, it takes approximately 9 months, and then 3 months later will be its time to be harvested. And that's it, like that all the time. So the scenery doesn't change here. It's always, because in a field like that, on your right, for instance, so the charge is there, directly there. This is a thermal power station on your right-hand side that is responsible for almost 70% of the electricity of the island, so in particular in Funchal. But we also have 4 hydroelectric power stations. We have eolic stations as well, and electricity covers 100% the whole island. Oh, it's rather rough today. You should see the Atlantic the other day. It was so. It's because the Atlantic Ocean here on the south side of Madeira is normally very calm. It looks like a lake. No waves. The waves are always inferior to 1 meter, except when the weather is changing and we have southwest wind, like today. Look, it's very rough here. But here you have Câmara de Lobos. Câmara de Lobos is a fishing village, and there is a very interesting bay with 2 walls of lava. Dark, basalt is that lava. Sorry, here the rock is lava. This is the most populated village of Madeira after the city, because normally fishermen's families, they usually have large families with lots of kids. Comparing with villages on the countryside, they're more larger families and fishing village normally. But this So we consider this is the place with more people after the city. And this is rather picturesque, and this is why Sir Winston Churchill came to this place. Sir Winston Churchill was in Madeira in 1950. He stayed at the Reed's Hotel, but he loved to come to this place. I will show you. This place here on your left, here, this balcony, and he used to sit in a wicker chair. From there, he could look over the boats and the nets and time that he loved to draw and paint. Vamos por aqui, porque não sei se lá em cima. Ladies and gentlemen, just to compensate the other place that we didn't see anything, this is not on the program, but I can give you here a minute to get off and take some pictures, because we have another photo stop. Okay, go that side.
Your mum didn't come down?
That's why they're not as many as the others. This is another variety, silver banana. So, but the blue plastic is used only to protect a good bunch and to try to ripe them faster, you know, than for export. You see a papaya tree on your left hand side.